Hey, this is Josh with Jacks of All Trades, and I am putting together a TROFAST by IKEA storage system. And I'm going to take a couple quick clips as I put it together, put them all together, post them on here so that you can get a visual idea of how quick and easy they go together. Here we go. The first step is to put the pegs in place. There will be 5 of them, 3 for the top, and then 1 each for the front and back rails along the top edge. I just give them light taps with a mallet just to make sure that they all seat. And for the bottom, some of them will slide right in. Some of them you will have to get the mallet out. But I'd recommend a softer headed hammer. Alright, all the pegs are in. The next step will be to put these panels on, which will form the top and the bottom of the shelving system. You'll need to line up the top panel with the side. You'll notice there is a stamp with writing on it that you'll want to make sure is facing downwards on the top piece. That way it'll be visible later, but only if it's being looked for. Made in the USA. Good stuff. Alright, so it should slide into place relatively easily. If not, a couple light taps with the mallet should help to seat it in place. Next, take either a front or back rail, choose the best side to face out, and I would try to pick the best rail to be the front. Now this is a ambidextrous system, so I guess ambidextrous isn't the right word, but it doesn't have a front or a back, so it's a system that can be oriented either direction. So you want to choose one side to be the front, one side to be the back. I have multiple sets here. I already have one assembled, and then I have 2 more that I'm putting together. You'll notice one has some damage on it, so I'll do my best to make sure that that ends up as the back of the unit. So we have the top, one end. I grab another piece. And I'll snap it into place. Then I'll do the same thing for the bottom. Then we'll assemble the other side. And once all of the pieces are together with the pegs, then we'll start to run the screws in. You'll notice there's a seam right here where the wrap on the fiberboard meets up together. You'll want to make sure that that seam is on the bottom or on the inside. That way it's not visible from the top of the unit after it's assembled. Now that we have all of the panels in place, we'll install the next layer of pegs. Already. Now I'll tap them in place with the hammer, and then we'll be ready to install the other side panel. Now to line the panels up, I'm just going to look underneath. I'm going to slide the pegs over until they match up with the holes. A few taps with a closed hand should seat all into place. Now we're ready for the screws. Now, the package comes from IKEA with only an Allen wrench, with which to drive the screws in. Now, typically, I use a electric drill with a hex head bit, but IKEA uses a in-between size fastener. It is directly in between a 1/8 inch hex head and a 3/32 hex head. So you can either choose to drive them by hand, being careful not to over tighten them, but get them snug enough that the unit will not have movement within it, or you can rig it up with the chuck on your electric drill, set it on the slowest speed setting with the lowest clutch setting, and then complete them by hand tightening them after you've inserted all of the fasteners into place. Here is how I accomplished using the Allen key that they provide by inserting it into the chuck of my drill and tightening the drill down. It's not an extremely secure application, but it will do the job as long as you use a slow speed setting and do not overload the fastener with torque. Caution is key. Just be careful so you don't damage the panels or the fasteners while you're doing it. You may have to tighten the chuck back up at some point. The vibration may cause the chuck to loosen. Now that I've installed everything on this side, I'll loosen the chuck, remove the Allen key, and hand check to make sure all of the fasteners are properly tightened. Power tools are wonderful for making jobs faster, but the precision is not always such that you can trust when doing furniture assembly. Alright, I'm going to flip the unit over, being careful not to open up the other side because all it is pegs holding that side in place. And then all we have left to do is install the tracks for the storage bins. You should have 12 tracks for each unit. The 12 tracks are all the same, and being that the panel is multi-directional, you'll notice that there is a opening right here that is closer to the side opposite you on the right, closer to the side nearest you on the left. That hole will correspond with the hole in the panel that you're installing the track to. This is the hole that the screw will drive through to hold the track into place, while the pegs on either end of the track will assist in carrying the weight, distributing the load to the side of the unit. These pegs will snap into place by hand. And it will be a fairly secure fastening system. Ensure, as you're installing them, that you keep the beveled edge facing towards the top of the unit. This will make more track to carry the weight of the bins, as well as make it easier to install and remove the bins. Next, once all of the tracks are installed, you will want to take your electric driver, leaving the same settings that you had before. Speed on number 1, clutch set on the lowest resistance setting, with a number 2 Phillips head fastener. Taking the short, stubby Phillips head screws, you will insert them through the hole in the track into the hole in the side panel of the unit and tighten it. You will repeat that for all 12 tracks. Install the bins, and your unit will be complete. Well, there's my 3 units. The last one, the third one, I finished in just under 7 minutes from start to finish, and that was including the time that it took me to realize I was missing one of the pegs. It should have had 20 pegs, 5 for each corner of the unit, 2 bottom corners, 2 top corners, and I only had 19. So scrambling around looking for that other peg, and I still completed it in 7 minutes. Altogether, they go together really well. Time will tell how sturdy they are. They'll be used for my boys' Legos. We purchased 4 small bins and 1 large bin for each of the units. So there'll be a total of 12 small bins and 1 large bin, or 3 large bins. And my wife's getting the bins ready right now with the labels, so I'll have a picture of it when it's all completed sitting upstairs. But altogether, pretty good buy, I think. We spent about $180 for the units and for all of the bins. It took about a week and a half to come in through the mail or UPS. I think it was FedEx actually. And that was right at the tail end of the Christmas season. I think we ordered them the day after Christmas. So I'll have a picture when everything's all put together with the Legos inside them and everything. I'll put that up at the very tail end so you can see what it looks like in place. But this is it. So far it seems pretty good. I'd say I'm satisfied at this point, except for the missing peg. Everything went perfect.